go through the steps in depth to the close, okay? So keep in mind, this is the appointment's already been set. They're confirmed. We're showing up to the home. They know we're coming. We're going to close the deal. Just so you guys understand what I'm going over, okay? So this has nothing to do with knocking or setting the appointment. This is when you know, just like me and JJ ran one last week, we know the homeowner's home. We're going to close them, okay? You guys will see, I'm going to go through the steps, and I'm also going to pitch. I'd actually like someone, Teach, can you come up and be my homeowner when I ask you?
Yeah.
You don't need to do it now, but
yeah.
when we get there, I'd like to have you as a homeowner to pitch.
Yeah, no problem.
So I'm going to go through the steps, but then anyone that's seen me train, I'm also going to kind of go through the psychology and why I do certain things so you can understand, right? Because it's not always what I say, it's kind of the objective of what I'm trying to accomplish in the things that I say with inside the close, okay? So, number one, guys, and I want you to know that everything is important, okay? Every single thing that I'm going to write down and go over, I do the same way every time I close. And the more that you can get like that, and you can have a process, and you have it down, and you stick to it, you will see your closing percentage go up. And I can promise you that because I remember years and years and years ago when I sold, I learned the process, but I got a little big-headed and started to think I could cut corners and do things differently, and I started losing deals. So over the 10 years of doing this, I've learned that having a process and a role and sticking to it, that's where you see results. Okay, so that's what I want you guys to understand. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Think of yourself as like an actor, and we have a role to play. When you get to that door, you got to switch into that role, and you need to stay in that moment and in that role all the way throughout the pitch, okay? So number one is the door approach. Remember, the appointment's set, they know we're showing up. Guys, I do the same thing every time, okay? Knock on the door, have your back slightly turned to the homeowners, have one hand on your backpack, or just make sure your hands are full, and one on your phone. And I always look like I'm checking emails or texting. I let the homeowner say something to me to start the engagement, okay? Please don't knock the door and be standing frontal facing them and getting ready to like shake their hand, okay? What would a salesman do? That, right? That's what a salesman does. The psychology behind this is we need to displace the salesman image. We need to be an energy consultant and a trusted advisor. If a guy was coming to fix your water heater that broke, does he knock on your door, sitting there waiting to shake your hand? He knocks the door to let you know he's there, goes to his truck, grabs his stuff, knows where the water heater goes right in there and gets to work. Okay? Displace that salesman image. So knock the door, back slightly turned, act busy, let the homeowners hi, and then it's very simple. Hey, how are you, Clinton? Here for the 4:30. Would you like my shoes on or off? Always be polite and ask. Okay? Then now we're inside of the home. Number two, very important, is positioning. Why do I always have a hard time spelling this? Posit. Is that right? No. I don't know why I can't spell this word. So
There's a T right before it. So after the first I, there's a T.
This is now it's actually like got into my head. Okay, someone spell it for me. Let's do this.
P-O-S-I-T.
I-T.
Yeah, I-O-N-I-N-G.
Ha! Live and learn. Maybe learn something new every day. Okay, so positioning, guys, very important. Where are decisions made?
Kitchen table.
Kitchen table. I promise you guys, you are going to run into scenarios. And hey, Clinton was a great example. Brand new, didn't have anything, but we set up very well. Where I was here, he was there, present like this, and you'll see. But that was still, we didn't have the option, but I still got to a place where I can achieve what I'm trying to achieve, okay? So positioning. Dining room table, kitchen table, everyone knows that, okay? That's where decisions are made. Okay, when you get there, and guys, understand how important this is. Don't be afraid to ask or tell them, hey, I want to do my best job at servicing you. This is where I'm comfortable. I have some things I need to write down, and I have a presentation. get to the kitchen table, okay? Just lead yourself in there. If they start to, say no over here, and just tell them. They say, hey, I want to do my best job of servicing you. This is where I'm comfortable. I have a computer and some things I got to write down, and just go there, okay? So if we're at a kitchen table like this, ideal positioning would be you at the front, wife and husband, or them on one side of you. Do not have them sitting like this. You don't want to be sitting like this with them here. You want to have it in a way where when you're discussing and presenting, you can easily just talk to them, okay? That is so key, guys. I promise you, positioning is huge. It sets up the entire close, and you need to make sure that that's how we get them set up. And anyone that's seen me, I have actually done it where I've positioned people that way and tell them that's where I'm comfortable. Promise you guys, the psychology behind it and just being able to talk to someone while presenting, it sets up the whole sale, okay? So put some emphasis on this, positioning. Number 3, said it once, said it a million times, I'll say it again. This is the most important part of the sale and the close, setting it up, okay? This is simply rapport. There's multiple things here. Rapport, discovery, I like to even say just making a friend. Your experience in solar. I'm sure you guys get the gist, okay? This is $15 to 30 minutes or so. This is an area, guys, that you need to spend time on. In your downtime or when you're home, you guys need to spend time on knowing and structuring what you're going to talk about with each homeowner. You in your mind should know, this is where I'm going to go with this, okay? This part of the sale is really where you're teeing up the close. It's discovery. It's talking about MB Energy, talking about yourself, talking about the homeowners, talking about everything. When you guys are walking up to their home, be mindful of their yard, their car. Look for certain things that you can spark a conversation with and relate to them. When you get inside of the home, be looking at things inside of their home where you can actually have a conversation, and everyone's done it, where you find something that you relate to with them and it just sparks. And next, military was me. I hammer that, and I always do. But how much time did we spend on that? 10 minutes of just talking about the military, thanking him for his service. We went ahead and did the thermostats for him, and I said, this is because you were in the military. Guys, that is so strong. That is building a connection with someone to where they don't feel like they're getting sold. And this is where you find that, okay? So to give you ideas on this, think about NV Energy, okay? Educating them on their power bill, okay? How many people or how many homeowners have you sat down with that are actually educated on their power bill and all the charges and all that? Or how many times is it that the homeowner just says, well, I gotta pay it, okay? So when you hear that, oh, it's just a bill I gotta pay, I pay it. That is a time where you guys need to hone in and focus on educating them on that bill, what they're paying, their rate increases. Let them know that there's discussion that we might go to a tier system. Guys, what we're doing here is trying to pin them against the utility company. We want them to hate the power company. Okay, and there's ways to do it and things to say and get them to tell you that is very, very powerful. Okay, so NV Energy, common interest, pets, military, sports, etc. You guys get the gist, right? This time is really spending as much time as you can on just connecting with that homeowner. Okay, and then we always want to somewhat get back on track to solar, but it's okay to go in there and just have a conversation with someone and make a friend. Okay, always, please make sure of this and write it down. Power bill. You have to talk about the power bill and NV Energy within this time. This is a very key time. People have heard me say it over and over and over again. A lot of times in here, you can drop the line that I use all the time. If you qualify. So T, can you come up here?
Yes, sir.
Excuse me. I'm going to go through this as if TJ is my homeowner. So, and just act as if you're as your homeowner, as if you're a homeowner. Okay? So, Mr. Carrington, how are you? Thanks.
Good, Mr. Long, how about yourself?
I'm doing well, really well. Thanks for taking the time to meet with me today. I know, as you said, you're a really, really busy guy. You did say that you're in the Air Force, right? Is that correct?
Yeah.
Awesome, man. I get a little emotional about it, but my brother's a Marine. He's been in the Corps for 9 years, and he comes back on October 24th.
Oh, that's
So,
awesome.
yeah,
Anybody that serves any branch.
Yeah, I've only seen him 3 times in 9 years, so
Oh, that's gonna be great.
it's kind of really cool, man. Like my little brother, right? He's my best friend growing up, and not seeing him for that amount of time has been pretty rough on me and my family. But you know, we're almost to the finish line of him coming home. I'm building a home. I'm gonna have a room made for him. He's actually gonna come and work with us, get into solar. So super excited about that. It's kind of funny. I was never like a big gamer, but when we got locked down and went into quarantine, like what else do you do? And didn't realize it, but my brother is a big time gamer. So when I got one, I started playing with him a bunch, and it was cool because I actually felt like I was hanging out with him. You know what I mean? Like we're obviously on a video game and talking, but like I'd spend hours and hours and hours playing this video game, and he would, you know, be on. I felt like I was hanging out with my brother, so I was kind of kicking myself in the butt that I didn't do it, you know, prior, just to spend some time with him, even if it is playing games. I'm not very good. He's
Those
like,
new consoles and everything though too are like, you know, as far as you can do everything on them. So it's
Yeah.
basically like you're in the room with
it's crazy. Feel like you're just hanging out. So
Exactly.
he's in the Marine. So Air Force. What do you do for the Air Force?
Mechanic.
Mechanic.
Yep.
Cool.
So I just
Wow, man, how long?
4 years now.
Wow. Okay. Right on. Was it stationed in Vegas then?
Yeah, that's actually the reason that I'm here.
Cool.
So, yeah, I'm
Set to be here then?
Yeah, for at least the next 4 years.
Awesome. I know you guys move around a lot. My brother moving around a lot, but I do know that, you know, sometimes you get a position where you are stationed.
Yeah,
I'm
it's-
assuming Nellis, right?
Yes, and it's just like, yeah, it's like time. You know, the more time you put into it, the more like the better spots you get, as they say.
Cool,
So-
right on. And it's from what you said, or what JJ discovered, is that you lived here, obviously been here for 4 years, you said, and did you rent before?
I did.
You did?
Yeah, this
Okay.
is my first home that I've actually.
Nice, and just got it, right?
Mhm.
Wow. I tell people this all the time, right? Like, solar is really cool. Like, as you can see, a lot of people are doing it, but there's no better time to actually look at doing it right when you move in, because I'm assuming you did a 30-year mortgage, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so, you know, one of those things is that for those 30 years, it's inevitable, you gotta pay a power bill, right?
Right.
So to kind of tackle that first and foremost, and you know, for homeowners that qualify, there's actually nothing out of pocket, and we only work with people that save money. So to be able to lock in that rate and having you know what your bill's going to be every month, and for the foreseeable future, you know, that security of no rate increases. We've been working with a ton of new homeowners. It's called NHR, where we actually target them because they moved into a home, because solar makes so much sense to do when you move in. And I could imagine if, you know, you had an opportunity to just lock your power bill in at like $125 every single month as an option when you move into the home. Would it be something you do?
Yeah. I mean that. Yeah, $125.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
You know, and the cool thing is not everybody does qualify. It's kind of difficult, the home and the homeowner, but For people that do, you just gotta lock in that rate. You know what your bill's going to be. You can budget it, and it's the same every month. You don't have to deal with the ups and downs. And
Is there, how much money am I putting down, up front?
so really, that all depends on if you qualify. The cool thing is, for people that do, there's absolutely no money out of pocket. We eliminate your power bill, and then we replace it with a solar payment that's cheaper, but it's secure because it locks in the rate, and it'll be the same every month, and it will never increase. So again, it's not everybody does qualify. For those lucky people that do, there's absolutely nothing out of your pocket.
And what is it to qualify for?
You just need to be up to date on your like utility bills, and you know, they just check to make sure that you've been kind of responsible with your finances and stuff like that. So it's a step that we'll get to if you know, I go through this and everything does make sense after I answer all your questions. It's a really quick process and easy to do. But that's kind of the main thing. Is the majority of people I meet with want to, you know, do solar because it saves them money, but unfortunately, especially here in Nevada, only about 30 or 40% of people do qualify.
Really?
Yeah. So, but it sounds like from what JJ said that you just got the home and you've been really responsible, and it sounds like you had good credit, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Cool. Right on. No worries. So yeah, we'll get to that. And you know, when you lived in the last house that you rented, did you ever like look at your utility bill and how many charges and fees they actually have on the bill?
You know, I just looked at it really just to pay it, and I didn't really like looking at it, to tell you the truth.
Did you pay online?
I would. Yeah.
You would. It just comes out of your account then.
Yep.
Yeah, it's funny because I was the same way, right? Until I got into solar. It's just one of those things that it's kind of strange because it's one of those things you don't even have an option to pay or not. You have to.
Well, and that's literally, it's just how much. That's the only reason why I look at it. It's
Yeah.
just how much did they get me for.
Exactly, right? And I'm assuming it goes high in the summer because the AC, and then dips down in the winter, you know, spring and fall and all that. Do you remember at the house you rented, like what your highest bill was?
You know, in the summertime, we're getting anywhere from a $300, $350,
Okay.
$400 bill in the summertime.
Then I'm assuming it got down to around 150, or what was your lowest?
Yeah, wintertime, you know, $100, 150, yeah, right
Cool.
in that range.
Right on. Well, as I mentioned, I kind of peeped your proposal, your offering before I came in, and I'm really excited to kind of get to that step when we do, just to kind of show you the money that you can save. But yeah, it's just funny, you know, when I got into solar and I started educating people on this and myself, it's just gnarly. Like, you pay one amount, right? If you have a bill, but if you look on there, there's like 9 different fees and charges that you pay for. And the one thing that kind of frustrates me is that they have so many areas where they can raise your rate. They got 9 different fees, so they can raise your rate in 9 different ways.
And that's here with NV Energy?
Yeah. So look, I mean, like I said, it's kind of funny because you were just like me before I got into solar. I just knew I had to pay it, so I did. But when I actually started to research and dive into this, it was pretty mind blowing. So if you look, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different charges just to get your power. So that bill you pay, you get charged 9 different ways. So as I mentioned, for people that qualify with solar, it's just one single rate and it never increases, and it's the same every month, so you don't have to deal with the ups and downs. So for me, I'm building a home now. Solar will be the first thing I do, and yeah, the money savings is great, but I just like to know what my bills are. I like to know what's coming in and what's going out, right?
Absolutely.
So that way I know if I have anything extra, if I want to take a vacation, or you know, just anything else I want to do in my life. I just like to know what's coming in and what's going out. And unfortunately with them, the way they have it set up is we don't have any control. And they do raise the rates. I don't know if you've kind of looked into this, but 7 to 11% on average per year.
Really?
So, well, yeah, think about it. Like when the home that you rented, you said you were there for 4 years. I'm assuming you were probably paying a little bit more at the time you left than you were when you moved in.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, so that's the cool thing. You know, if you do qualify, it just locks in the rate. You know what your bill is, and you're free from the rate increases, and it just puts you in control. So, cool, man. Well, right on. Yeah, going through that is every time I meet with a new homeowner and explain that to them, it's like their eyes kind of
Yeah,
because they just don't know.